Hello, welcome to LADA Life. I'm Linnea May Huxford. Today I want to talk about weight gain, weight loss, how weight relates to diabetes. I gained a lot of weight in my 20s, as a lot of people do. I did not really feel like I had much control over it. I knew I could try to change my diet and could exercise and hopefully lose weight. However, it was a real struggle. And I was not happy about the weight gain. And this was prior to my diabetes diagnosis. At the time, my A1C and my fasting blood glucose levels were normal. And then later in my 30s, I lost weight when I was having the onset of diabetes. And all throughout this time, I was taking walks every day prior to the diabetes diagnosis and after, because it was really helpful for my mental health. So I was trying to make myself feel better, and I read this great advice. And it was just take a walk, leave your house, walk in any direction for 7 minutes, and then turn around and come back. And it's even if you're feeling depressed, that is something you can often do. So I would take a walk. And I did this every day, and I liked my walks. I liked being outside. It was good for my mental health, and I started losing weight. And I did not know initially that the weight loss was because of the diabetes. But I found out that the weight loss was because I had diabetes and my body was eating food, but not able to use the energy from that food. And that's why I was losing weight. I was essentially sick. So I went from gaining a lot of weight to losing weight. And neither one of those things was anything that I felt like was really in my control. I knew I could try to change my diet and exercise, of course. I'm not saying that there's nothing I can do, but it's not like I changed my diet and all of a sudden I lost weight. And then I got complimented by people who were watching me take walks in my neighborhood. And they said, "Oh, you lost so much weight." And they congratulated me for the weight loss. And the weight loss was because I was sick. And I think that that told me so much more about them that I did not know, that they were watching me. And it was really kind of disconcerting. And so I do not comment, and I do not comment on anybody's weight. And I think it's a really you don't know what is going on with their weight, and it's not their business. So the journey of diabetes, I've learned a lot about both myself and others, and that is one anecdote. So I had LADA, or I have LADA diabetes, latent autoimmune diabetes in adults, but I was misdiagnosed as having type 2 diabetes, which is very common. LADA is a subtype of type 1 diabetes. It's essentially a slow onset form of type 1 diabetes. And with type 1 diabetes, weight loss is often listed as a symptom because your body is not able to use the food, because the insulin, the pancreas, which is the only place in your entire body that produces insulin, in diabetes type 1 autoimmune condition, your body is attacking the cells in the pancreas, the beta cells that make insulin. And the destruction of these cells means you no longer have the insulin hormone that your body usually produces, that lets the body use the glucose, the energy from the food. And so it causes it all lots of problems not having insulin. And that's why insulin is the treatment for type 1 diabetes, and also the treatment for LADA diabetes. Although, because LADA is a gradual onset type of diabetes, it's often the case that people do not need insulin initially, but once the A1C starts going up or their fasting glucose numbers go up, then insulin is the treatment, if diet and exercise alone are not enough to keep that in check. This is really different from type 2 diabetes, because in type 2 diabetes, often people are overweight, and the extra weight leads to insulin resistance, and losing weight actually can make the diabetes better. In fact, sometimes they say if you lose just 10% of your body weight, that is enough to make a difference with your A1C and your blood glucose levels. Whereas in LADA or type 1 diabetes, losing weight does not improve the diabetes, unfortunately.